What's up, y'all? I'm back with another episode of Petty Talk, and today we got a very, very, very funny lady as my guest. She's one of the funniest women in all of St. Louis. I want you to give a round round of applause for KB.
What's up, y'all?
Uh,
Not
you,
too much on. I'm aspiring to be the funniest. I know
you're one of them. To
I'm
me, you are.
aspiring to be one of
You
the
are.
funniest.
You
I'm
are.
I'm still training and working every day. But thank you for the compliments. I
I
appreciate it.
think you are. I done seen a whole lot of female comedians, and I definitely think you're one of them.
Thank
You know
you.
what I'm saying? I know I know you haven't been out there, like the others that have been doing it, but when you get your chances, you gonna show out. Like the world gonna see that you one of the funniest women in the industry of comedy. You
Uh,
definitely are.
Not too much, but thank you, Deandrew.
For real, for real. So, how long have you been doing comedy, and what inspires you to do it?
My very first time getting on the stage was 3 years ago. I got into the industry. I used to work the door of a very popular comedy show that used to be held monthly at Blueberry Hill.
Very yeah.
Um, Working for comedian Willie C. I
Oh
went
yeah,
from
yep,
working
yep.
the door to doing show production. I always been a jokester with my family and my friends, usually people close to me, but I wanted to write. The writing opportunities didn't exist for me to do it for other people, and I tried for 2.5 years to find people to write with or collaborate with and do stuff like that with. And eventually just had to overcome my fears of getting on the stage and jumped out there and did it.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. A lot of us, a lot of people are funny, but like they like you don't find out till you're funny until you really get on that stage. Some people are funny with with their family and stuff, but like they ain't funny on that stage. And sometimes, it's all mental. It
Yeah.
really is a mental thing. Comedy is confidence, 100% confidence to me. Cause most of us tell funny jokes, but if you're not confident, ain't nobody gonna really, we're not feeling you. So, who are some of the comedians that you've met, that you find of over in your 3 years of doing comedy?
You mean like locally,
Locally,
nationally?
globally, however you want to say
Um,
it.
my favorite local comedian is Frank Lyles. He's the
Oh
host of
yeah, he's
Grown Folks
hilarious.
Comedy
He's
every
hilarious.
Wednesday, 5300 North Broadway. His show starts at 8 p.m. Um, I always appreciated Frank because he's a phenomenal storyteller.
Oh yes, he is.
And he knows how to kind of, he'll suck you in, and next thing you know, you be like, man, and he'll get you on some straight funny that you
Yeah,
wasn't expecting.
he definitely does some great crowd work. A lot of
Yeah.
comedians, try to do crowd work, but like they don't know how to do it. Like like that's not that ain't for everybody. He definitely has some of the best crowd work that I've seen from comedians.
Yeah, and even just his straight up stand up
Yes,
when you get an
yes, yeah.
opportunity to
Yeah, he can. He's all around,
take Frank in, but he's a phenomenal
all
storyteller, and that's
around.
the thing that I appreciate the most about his comedy. Um, that I've actually met. I mean Vincent Bryant. That's also another
Vincent Bryant.
favorite from St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
He's very witty, very intelligent comedy, kind of pull you in.
I've never met him, but I've definitely heard his name through the grapevines. I've heard that name several times.
Yeah, he's a force. And I always trip out Vincent because he's so young. So I can only imagine as he gets older and matures, what that will look like. Because right now, even with him being considered a young gun as far as his age, like some of
Yeah.
the stuff that I heard Vincent say is just absolutely crazy. Like whenever it is I get an opportunity to catch Vincent on stage, it doesn't matter where he is. If I got the money to get there, I'm gonna get there and pay for a ticket and make sure that I can hear what he's been working on. I always enjoy his delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also appreciate the fact that he's not really afraid to touch on stuff that maybe some other people wouldn't be able to do so gracefully. So I appreciate him as well. It's like I really don't have to go outside of St. Louis. Reggie Cush, Javon Bibbs. Like I
Yeah.
could just go
Oh yeah.
down the line
All them are super.
of
All them. I
beasts.
haven't seen Reggie Cush before I'm live, but I've seen some of his clips. You know, he's hilarious, and Javon, he's a goat too. He's one of the goats of St. Louis comedy.
Yeah,
And I saw him at Smoking Jokes. He's definitely a heavy hitter.
yeah. So
And
it's like I don't even really have to go outside of
yeah, you don't like St.
people
Louis has
that's
some of the funniest comedians in the we really are.
yeah,
I'll say this like. And St. Louis has one of the funniest crowds. I feel like if you're funny here, you could be funny anywhere.
yeah. We have a tough crowd
And
here.
we so like if you
If you can make
absolutely
people laugh in St. Louis,
yeah
you can make people laugh really kind of anywhere. Cause our crowds are tough on renowned talent, let alone
yeah they are. And speaking of KJs, that's definitely one of the toughest. That's probably one of the toughest crowds. So I would definitely recommend any comedian like to test yourself at KJs. You know, like that'll show you what you're made of. You know, test yourself there.
yeah, and it's a 35 and older crowd.
Yeah, yeah.
I do host an open mic at KJ's every Wednesday. It's called The Prelude. It's the show before the big show. Starts at 6:30. Over at 7:30. It's an all talent mic with a comedy emphasis. Um, that's not an easy room, but it is a place
Oh
that I
yeah, it
respect
is.
and appreciate a lot because it helps you build character. It helps you get a real good understanding of when things are hidden and when they're not.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely will.
yeah.
So how did that open mic come about? How did that opportunity come?
Um, I was asked. They had previously had the open mic,
Yeah, I know they had
but
stopped it
but it was
for a
even
minute.
before then. It had changed hands from host.
Oh yeah, they
Like in the
definitely.
last, I guess 2-3 years, I think Richie had that room at one time. Then it was Javon Westmoreland. Then it was Noonie, and
Yeah,
now it's me. So it's kind
yeah.
of changed hands over a period of time. They saw something in me that I didn't.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
When somebody sees something in you, that's a
yeah.
good thing. I always I take that serious. When somebody sees something in you, especially when others don't see it. You
And it's
know.
not something I take lightly. Like that's a room that I treasure and I value so much
Mhm.
for the grown folks comedy element, as well as what Mr. Kenny Martin that owns KJ's and
Mhm.
what Terrence Reynolds, who is the booker down there, what they
Yep.
have put
Mhm.
together. It's just something that I don't take lightly. It's a very large responsibility.
Oh, absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
Having that mic. And so you were on the first edition of the mic last
Yes, yes.
Wednesday. This Wednesday, I got some other people pulling through. It's walk up, 6:15 sign up, all that. But yeah, it was something that I
Who are
wasn't expecting.
some of the names that have signed up so far for this Wednesday?
I don't know. It's walk ups.
Walk-ups.
I
This the
was
first
walk
one. The
ups.
first one was like
Yeah, walk ups. I was trying to make sure I got some people there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I got walk ups. I mean, you never know who you go see at KJ's
That's
on
one thing. You
Broadway.
never know. Like
Never
that's
know.
one spot. You never know. Like some legends have come there.
Yeah, like
absolutely.
you literally, I can't, I'm not at liberty to say if I have some pre-sign ups, just show up, get on the list, do your thing.
Yeah,
Because it's not a show, it's a mic. So,
yeah.
you know,
and doing good there could get you booked for other stuff.
yeah, people
absolutely.
do get booked out of their room. People have gotten radio shows.
Mm-hmm.
They've been booked at the City Winery. They've had
Mm-hmm.
other opportunities to travel, open and headline and stuff at Helium. Like, it's just been a lot of opportunities.
Absolutely.
And then just not even necessarily with, like, big comedic opportunities, but a lot of the people that are there, they own businesses. They're looking to book people for private work. You know, everything that we do is not going to be at a comedy club. There are private event booking opportunities
Now,
that come out of
private
also.
shows are definitely like if someone books you for a private show, then you that's how you know. Yeah, I'm doing something. For real. So I remember last year you produced your very first show, the Show Me. What's the Show Me the Funny comedy
Show
show?
Me the Funny comedy competition.
What inspires you to do that?
I have been doing show production for a while. I also had taken a class through Continuity STL that trains you how to be a production assistant. And I'm an apprentice that can be hired to work on films around the city. So I had that under my belt, and I just wanted to put on my own show and do it my own way. It's one thing when you are producing a show to make someone else's vision you know what I'm saying, be manifested and for things to look the way that they want them to look. But it's something totally different when you're producing a show and it's your vision that's coming to life and you want to make sure things are the way that you want them to be. It didn't have to be like everybody else's show. I wanted it to be my show.
Yep. Can you
Yeah.
tell us about the lineup that you have for that show?
I had Tenario Brown as my host. I had Frank Lyles as my headliner. And then I had comedians compete. So I had Sequoia DeLee, Taji, Kyle Williams, Lionel Lang. Who else was up there? Ronnie J.
Oh yeah, all of them are.
Yeah,
funny.
I'm missing some people, and please charge it to my mind and not to my heart. But I had them compete for a prize of $100. Taji ended up winning. Actually, she's somebody to look out for. Taji just was featured in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch by
Yes, she
Jasmine
was.
Osby.
Yes, she
She's
was.
also half of Bigger Than the Stage on B District Radio every Thursday at 12 o'clock. Sponsored by KJ's on Broadway.
Shout out to Taji. I had her on a few weeks ago. We was talking about WrestleMania.
Yeah.
She's definitely
Uh,
a wrestling fan.
yeah, a lot of people sleep on Taji.
Yeah, they do.
That's direct competition. Coming for you, kid. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, she's funny. She's funny. She's
Yeah.
like quirky funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. I like Taji.
But
So,
that's what inspired me to do it. I just wanted my own show to do it my own way.
are you considering producing another show anytime?
Sure. I mean, but show production takes money.
Oh yes, it does. It does. It ain't. Yeah, it
And,
does.
yeah, like right now, kind of me having a mic at KJ's kind of lets me get that production, get that ish off of me a little bit
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
kind of got to make sure I
Gives
got to
you
order
more,
and stuff.
mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
but
It definitely gives you more experience.
I mean, I would produce a show every week if I had the budget to do so.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm certain eventually I'll do another show, another competition.
Yeah. Whenever you do, I'll definitely be on the lookout. So, as a comedian, what would you say are 3 don'ts that are no-nos as a comedian?
Don't overconsume your drug or your drink of choice before it is you perform.
Absolutely, that's definitely a big one.
Read the room. So like don't watch your conversation because you don't necessarily always know who your audience is. It's a bad look if you having a conversation trash with somebody and then you find out later that's their brother, or you find out that's their cousin, or you find out that that's the owner of the establishment, or you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, the third one, just remember the person that it is that you working side by side with today might be the person that have to hire you tomorrow. So don't piss off the wrong person.
As I would tell them, that stuff definitely matters. And the people don't take that serious. It's definitely important. What do you say? What do you think of your 3 strengths as a comedian? Your best attributes.
My voice is unique.
Yes.
I don't sound like anybody else, and that's crazy because I hate my voice. I hate how it sounds. I hate when I hear it back. I hate it. I always have.
I hate my
it.
voice too.
Yeah,
but it's a good thing having a
distinct
unique
sound
voice.
stands out.
Because then they know it's you.
Yeah.
Even if you hate it, but that's a good thing. Because a lot of comedians, you wouldn't be able to know unless you see them. You know, but
they know it's me.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll be like, oh God. So I have a distinct sound. My subject matter is not the same as my peers. And I think my third strength as a comedian is my interpersonal relationships, not just within comedy, but just in the community, period. They have actually assisted me and carried me very far. Sometimes more than being funny has. It's just my ability to have really good working relationships with people and with owners of businesses.
Out of all your shows, what would you say is your most favorite booking?
My favorite booking of recent would be the Goblin Town. It was Mini Goblin Town at the St. Louis Improv Shop. Basically, it was a storytelling. So I told a funny story about having a horrible roommate, an experience I had during COVID. And then and Because We Can, which is an all black improv team, it was their premiere performance. They did my playback, so they acted out my story, and I think I didn't make a dime, and it paid me more than it is than I think I ever have been paid, because I just can't get that out of my head. I had so much fun, like I had so much fun at work.
That's how you know you love to do something. Like when it's not about the money. That's how you know you truly love it. And you're doing it because like it's something that you love doing.
Yeah,
You know, it ain't even about the money will come. You know, all that will come. You know, but it's just something that you love.
yeah.
So, do you see yourself like actor?
Not really.
Not really.
I'm going to be in a movie. I am casted in Genesis Bond as stylist number one. I'm going to be playing KB myself, written by Mika Payne. I am going to be in a movie, but would I say that I'm an actress? I don't necessarily. I don't know.
You could. You don't know.
Yeah, that's something
That's
like
why
I'm
she
not
don't
saying
know.
no. But I mean, is that on my bingo card? I'm getting ready to do it. I'm gonna try it and see.
I think you could. That's definitely something you could too. Cause like most people, like when before they start doing their first movie, they don't. That's not something they really think about. But like once you start doing it and you having fun, it's like maybe this is something I would like doing. You know,
Hmm.
cause acting is also part of the comedy too.
Right.
Doing comedy movies and stuff. All that is definitely a part of it. So what do you like more and why? Do you like hosting more or just performing?
I haven't hosted a lot. Even though I've been around a lot, I didn't perform. I haven't performed a lot, a lot. So for me, right now, my favorite is performing. I haven't really gotten into hosting a whole lot. That's something I just haven't. It just haven't come up yet. I mean, I know eventually it will, but
How do you feel about hosting?
I don't have a problem with it. I'll try it. I mean, my thing is that I just don't want to be a host. I do want to be good at it. Somebody just throw you up there. It's like, yeah, it's one thing to be up there, and it's like that's kind of what's helping me by me
Mm-hmm.
hosting the mic on Wednesdays is
Mm-hmm.
that timing, understanding, not to laugh out the room, knowing who's coming next and all that. So I mean, I'm getting more comfortable with hosting, but
Mm-hmm.
prior to hosting at KJ's, I think I only had hosted like once or twice. So it's not something that I had like a super huge amount of experience with. I had a lot of mic experience, a lot of mic attending experiences, even getting on stage at open mics, but I haven't hosted a lot at all.
And all the comedians, who you think does the best at hosting?
Shantae Love, because she's really good at pivoting, taking in the environment and what's going on, and really good at improv. She hosts like she has a relationship with the people in the room. So for me, I think out of my peers, and we started out together, like me and Shantae and
Mm-hmm.
Taji and Javon, all us in the same school, because
Mm-hmm.
comedy come in schools like fish.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of us in the same school, and out of our school, Shantae and Javon probably the best two, but I'm gonna lean more to Shantae just because she hosts a lot of diverse events, not just comedy shows. She does hosting at conferences and baby showers and weddings and all kind of. She do all kind of stuff. She does a lot of different type of host. So not necessarily just comedic hosting, but overall host Shantae Love.
Yeah, I can't even think of anyone who hosts stuff outside of comedy. So I've never seen her host before, but I'll definitely have to check that out. Since you said that, now I'm curious. I gotta see for myself. Because I just love comedy. I love seeing
Miss Shantae on the line.
it. Popped up at the right time. So, let me see. Out of if how would you handle bombing in a situation like how would you handle that?
I mean, the very first time I got on stage, I bombed, and it's so crazy because I brought a date with me. This was like when outside first opened back up before Treasures was Treasures. It used to be this place called Billions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Will C had a show there. It was my very first time getting on stage. It was horrible, and I went in the back and I just stood there. I didn't run out. I didn't leave. I mean, just because you bomb, that don't mean jump out and leave. You need to
No, don't. Like
suck
that,
it
all
up.
the
Yeah,
everybody has bombed at least once. But I
yeah.
definitely say like when you know like the crowd just not feeling it, I always say just keep at it. You know, like just try to maintain that straight face. You know, it's just not your night.
Yeah, and every night not gonna be your night. And I mean, I bombed. Well, yeah, recently. All the jokes flew out my head. Like I knew what I was gonna say when I got up there. I thought I was, and when I got up there, everything like my brain just went completely blank.
That's
It was like a vacant city, and I'm like, as much
that,
thoughts
I
that
just
running
that
in my
definitely
mind.
happens. You
Yeah,
just don't want to bomb. I just don't want to bomb like when it matters. A big show, like if you bomb at like an open mic, you know that like that's okay. But I just
that's practice though.
yep.
But on the actual show,
Yeah, that's you don't want to do.
but it happens though. Like
Yes, it does. It
you
definitely
be
does.
ready, and it's not just being funny. Like you got your life ahead of you. The kids done threw up on the floor. Your man done made you mad. Your mama done pissed you off. People don't understand. Your job gets on your nerve. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And then you come somewhere, and the expectation is that you have to let all that go and set it all aside and just get up there and be funny. And all the time, it don't be that easy. Cause you
Yeah,
don't
and a
know.
lot of
Before I
and a
came
lot
here,
of
what
people,
happened
you
to me?
know, that's why a lot of people. That's why sometimes I try to like be careful who I interact with before a show, cause some people, you know, they know you got stuff going on, and like they'll try to throw you off. People
Yeah,
definitely do that.
yeah.
Like they know you performing, and like I'm gonna try to throw you off. Like I'm gonna call you, or I'm gonna text you, I'm gonna do
Say
something.
something
Yeah, and
crazy.
they will definitely try to do that. You know.
And I don't even necessarily know, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't necessarily know if people are intentionally letting the devil use them, but they be letting the devil use them. Like, leave me alone. I'm finna get ready to go
Let
to
me
my
say this.
job.
Don't give people the benefit. If somebody show, like seriously, I've learned not to do that. I used to be like gullible and naive. Like if somebody shows you who they are, that's who they are. If somebody ain't, I don't believe in coincidences. Like you know what's going on now. All of a sudden you want to try to start shit with me. Like come on, you know what you're
And
doing.
I don't think it's necessarily all of a sudden, but I just know, like I've learned to limit when I know that I'm, at least my ride to work.
Oh yeah,
If I'm in the car, okay, let me get in the car. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to talk to y'all. Let me get in the zone. I'll cut on the music that it is that I want to listen to.
yeah, for
Some
real, for real.
my theme music usually be Public Enemy Fight the Power. I mean I be driving
Yeah,
down the highway, listen to you ever said Public Enemy, just trying to get myself in a certain zone. Cause it's like it's not easy getting in front of people trying to make them laugh.
it really ain't. It really ain't. You know, especially. How do you feel about a crowd that's a crowd that has hecklers in it? You know, the crowd that's noisy. Like, how would you feel about a crowd like that?
I mean, I wouldn't feel no way. The thing is that being noisy, respect the mic. If not, I mean, we do know at 5300 North Broadway, Kenny Martin will put you out because this is a comedy show. You can either
Yeah,
listen to the show, but you're not gonna become part of the show, so you can leave.
cause there definitely
Um,
are some shows that the
yeah,
crowd would try to do that. You
and
know,
if they start messing with you, then I mean, I ain't had to get nobody yet.
I'll mess. I'll mess with them back. You know,
Yeah, I
really.
haven't, I
Mess with
haven't,
them
I
back.
haven't, I
That's
haven't
a,
had to get nobody
for
yet. I
real.
mean,
Like, if somebody wants to be the star of the show, make them the star.
yeah, I mean, if it come down to that, I ain't got hit with one. Yeah, I know my day coming.
Oh
It's just
yeah.
a matter of what I do.
I definitely don't mind doing that.
Yeah, and
I don't
and,
want to,
and how
like,
hard you really want to go in on them and stuff like that. But I learned a valuable lesson watching St. Louis Slim one night. We was over South City. He was performing on a show and he was getting heckled by somebody in the audience. And Slim sliced that man down to the ground. That man looked like he wanted to cry, but Slim did
Slim will get you.
but
That's
Slim,
one of the
but
ones. Slim.
but I learned something from Slim that night. Slim did a safety check, cause them people was that kind of mad that we might was gonna have some problems when we left there. Slim did a safety check. He Yeah, when it was all said and done, he had just as much information about them as they thought they was gonna have about him. And it's very important when we find ourselves in those situations where we may have a negative interaction engaging with an audience to make sure that we keep ourselves safe.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
ultimately we have to walk outside of these clubs, we have to walk outside of these bars, and some people wear their emotions and their feelings on their sleeve
Yeah, they will.
and
Especially
can't
when
take
they're
a joke,
drinking and stuff.
even though they was making themselves be
You
part of
got
the
a comedy
show.
show. Come
Yeah.
on now.
So, just watching Slim do that, I learned a very valuable lesson about when it is that you really do have to go hard. Like that man was finna cry.
Yeah, Slim. That's
That man
one.
was finna cry.
I've
But
I've seen. I had a show on Mother's Day that Slim was on.
mhm.
Like he let some lady,
but
like he tore her apart. Like
yeah, it's just
like
it's
he
not
don't
something
play.
that I've had to do, but I pay attention when I see other people have to.
Speaking
Um,
of Slim, like Uncle
it's
Great.
Virgo gang.
Uncle Great. No, his name is Terry Ellis. Uncle Great, like he's
Oh
known.
yeah, I know.
Uncle Great. I mean, he's the only person I've ever seen just roast him. I've never seen nobody do it but him.
Yeah.
Like he straight got that man. Uncle Great is known for like he's legendary for roasting everybody, but he ain't have shit for Slim. He ain't have nothing
Yeah,
for him.
nah, you can
Slim,
forget it. You can forget it. So that's the thing. It's like certain people you don't heckle.
yeah, he
Like
was.
Slim gonna get the crowd together no matter what.
Oh
Like be
yeah.
out of order. I was in one of Slim shows one day and I was talking. He said, "Hey, big light skin." I said, "Oh." I ain't say nothing bad. I got
Yeah,
quiet.
he will.
Why? Why? Because that's my big brother, number one. Number two, I was doing the wrong thing. Going back and forth with him wasn't going to serve me nothing. So let me go ahead and shut the hell up and sit over to the side because Big Light Skin just got called out in the whole room.
Yeah, he
And
he
I'm
will.
supposed to know better. So,
He will.
I haven't had to encounter hecklers. I do know and understand that we have to remember we have to make it home alive. We're not making enough money for these jokes to get us killed.
Ain't no. I don't care if we making Kevin Hart money.
Right. We not making
No,
enough
not
money.
enough money to
Die behind a joke.
No, I don't. Man,
No.
for real. Like we definitely gotta remember that. Some people don't see it that way. Like how do you feel that security should be at all comedy shows?
I don't believe in people feeling policed. I believe that there should be safety measures in place that are unknown to the audience, but I don't believe in people having to feel like they're in a guarded police environment. So I feel that people should feel safe, but I don't believe that people should have to feel that they are in a guarded, policed environment. There should be safety measures. There should be certain interworking mechanics that nobody knows anything about, and as soon as something happens, be like, "Oh wow, I didn't know they had security." Oh wow, I didn't know they had security.
Yeah, he should
Yeah.
like maybe you not to dress
Yeah.
as security. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
'cause
saying? But
when
like
people
this,
see-
they definitely. Cause like there should be people there. Cause like it's the
Yeah.
comedy shows. Something. Some people it gets personal. Like you
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah, but
You
I
know.
don't think it should look like.
Yeah, it probably shouldn't. You don't need to have nobody standing at the door.
Yeah, I don't want to
Yeah.
see nobody with no big bulletproof vest on
Yeah,
doing
that's-
security at my show. But I do want to know that there is somebody here in the event
Yeah.
that something happens that's
Mhm.
gonna stop whatever is trying to happen.
Yeah, absolutely, because you never know. So, I remember my worst time. My worst show was it was a Gemini Taurus comedy show, and Precious Precious was the host. And when I say I did so terrible, she waved. I was supposed to do 5 minutes, and she waved that light at 3. She like. And like, damn, like that was probably the worst performance of my life. I forgot like 3 of my jokes. I'm like, I don't know what happened. Like I rehearsed some shits over and over in my head. That's why another reason, like that's why I kind of don't believe in like preparing sets before. I kind of like to just like go with the flow, cause like you can have it in your mind that you gonna say this and you say that, but it might be a different crowd. So I kind of just like want to wing it.
Yeah, I walked into a room Friday. I did a show at the Crack Fox downtown.
Crack Fox. Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of my material is very much relatable to people that look like me.
Yeah.
And when I walked in there, it was all white people. Everybody was white. So some of the cultural references they just weren't gonna get. So I had to look through some other stuff in my phone. And it taught me a lesson too, to not be so culturally specific and make my material much more universal, so that I don't have to try to pick through and find
Mm.
something that they will get. Um, yeah, I mean, I figured out what to say to them, but
Well, they
I
white
had to
people
spend some
laugh. White
time.
people laugh at stupid shit. Like
Yeah,
they
but
do. Like
I don't want them to laugh at nothing stupid. I want them to laugh at actual jokes. You know what I mean? And if I don't have universal material, I'm feeling me as much as it is that I feel the audience. So I had to.
I don't think if the crowd laughs, you're successful.
Yeah, but
That's how I look
if
at
all
it.
my jokes are black jokes or hood jokes or urban reference jokes,
And sometimes
and I go into this room with these, they didn't know what baddies was like on Zeus. They didn't know what
damn.
Zeus Network and baddies was like. So instead of my setup, because I got a baddies SSI joke, so instead of
Mhm.
my setup, because I know in a room with people that look like me, we generally
Nah,
know
they'll
what
get it.
baddies are.
Mhm.
I had to, as a part of my setup, explain to them. I'm like, do y'all watch Zeus Network? Okay, do y'all know what baddies is? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, it's a show where these black girls have on wigs and long fingernails and skimpy clothes and they be fighting for the death. Like, I had to set it up so that they would even know what I was talking about before I could ever even tell the joke, because culturally, that's just something they weren't unfamiliar with. So, you gotta be mindful of.
There's also like another thing, like before you perform, I always try to. That's why I try to, if I know I'm performing at a venue, I try to look up the venue.
Mm-hmm.
I try to see like what kind of crowd is gonna be there. Cause there's certain shows that, like, I know that, like, yeah, this gonna be a predominantly white crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's definitely something.
Yeah,
Even if I don't know, I'll
right.
try to
Like, I
inquire.
knew it was gonna be predominantly white. There was a room full of snow. It wasn't predominantly
Yeah,
white. Everybody in there was white. I'm like,
yeah.
y'all, why? But I had things that it is that I could,
Oh
diversify
yeah.
my set, and I was proud of that set. But yeah, Universal comedy is gonna carry all of us much further than just urban comedy. You gotta
Absolutely.
be able to pivot. Money is green. I want to go where it is, so I need to be able to go everywhere.
I had somebody tell me that white people is where the money at, and that's this
And
is
I
true.
wouldn't necessarily just say that. I just universally being able to go in them different spaces and places. Javon
Mhm.
Westmoreland is somebody that's really good with that.
Mhm.
Sean Don, he's really good with that.
Oh yeah. I've
Andy
seen.
Hamilton is
Andy
really good.
Hamilton is
Andy's
funny.
funny everywhere he goes. It don't
I
matter if
say
it's
him and
who's in
out
the
out of
audience.
all the white comedians, I say him and Eric Rustler are probably the two
Yeah.
funniest that I've seen.
Eric Russell, J.C. Sabala, and Andy Hamilton are universal to me. They're not just
Mhm.
specific to one type of audience. So
Yeah, they
you
they
know,
make black people laugh.
if
They
I'm
really- they
looking
can
if
make
I'm looking
anybody
for
laugh.
what the goal is, I want to be able to make no matter who it is to laugh.
That's why I say it's important to study white comedians too.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
just study what people find funny.
Yeah,
I don't
study-
care what color y'all are. What
Yeah.
do the audiences laugh at?
Yep.
What is funny?
That's why like I study them all. Watch all the comedians, even from the 50s, 60s, 70s to now, all black, white. Study them all. They study the older comedians because they relate to the older crowd. So you study them.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of material that what they'll laugh at.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that it's important to have clean comedy in your repertoire?
Yep. Again, it increases your likelihood of being booked.
Absolutely.
And that's something that I've become more cognizant of. One, we're doing interviews because I can be a cuss box. I cuss you from the top of the morning to the bottom of the night. I cuss you from a boot to a shoe, from your taste to your appetite. I will cuss you out. I don't care, but it just doesn't work. It's not a good look. Everywhere you go. Being on radio stations, depending on what type of radio station it is, they got to follow FCC guidelines.
Oh,
It's like,
absolutely.
I'm trying to diversify my portfolio and what it is I do. I Mr. Poetry 7, he had a mic last Tuesday at the University City Library.
Yeah, I know Mr.
Shouts
Poetry.
out Poet 7.
He's funny. He is.
Yeah, he's a good poet, but it was clean.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And usually I can cuss everywhere I go, but I made it through my whole set clean. So I can't say, oh, I can't do it. But I have to be consistently in practice with doing it, because a lot of times people will get booked to do a clean set, but they're so out of practice that they struggle to not use profanity during their set.
I look at this, you know. I've been around my grandmother and around a lot of old people, you know, and obviously I don't cuss around them, and I know I can make them laugh. So it's like I know how to do it. So I just gotta, you know, incorporate that on stage. And sometimes, you know, some of the jokes that, you know, that have profanity, you know, you can, like, you know, you can make them appropriate. You know, like clean comedy, it's not as hard as people make it seem. You know, it's, you know, you just gotta just work on it.
And I think that's a valuable thing. Like, a lot of times, just to run your usual set, but run it clean.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because then you can have a recording of yourself running that set clean. You can work through it so that it's not as challenging to make that pivot. Because who want to miss money because they can't not cuss?
Nobody.
Right. But a lot of times it's like people not willing to make that change. So if I'm not so heavy laden on profanity in my set, it won't be as hard for me to take it out when I need to. So I've been making a more conscious decision, even in my delivery, to not be so filthy. Because it can be, especially since I'm a woman, a lot of times people look at that and they're turned off by it.
How do you feel? Let me see. Yeah, it was something I was trying to bring up. Hold on. This will come to me real quick. Oh, here it is. Do you think it's a fine line between a joke being funny and not funny? Like,
sometimes the difference in a joke being funny and not funny is the timing, and it ain't got nothing to do with the joke. Like, if you could get the timing right, it's funny. But if the timing of the joke not right, it's not funny.
Absolutely.
And it be the exact same joke. It's just how it's delivered and the timing. I just was working on something, because that's the thing with hosting this mic every week. I gotta have new jokes and stuff every week, and so I'm, you know what I'm saying, writing it, working it out, saying it out loud, getting in the mirror, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get the timing of this right. It's funny, but if it don't fall
timing
right,
is everything. Timing and I say delivery too. You know, because you can say one joke, you know, and then, like, you know, it's not funny, but someone else could say the exact same joke like you, and they'll lift the whole entire building up. You know, that's definitely, you know, something that I'm working on too. You know, like timing and delivery. Like, it's definitely a fine line between a joke being funny and not funny. Like, timing and delivery is everything. How do you feel about body language as a comedian?
I mean, every part of you is a part of your set.
I remember you would talk.
I was waiting for you to bring it up. I was waiting for you to bring it up. I wasn't going to say nothing to Arthur Fist. I said, why you got that fist ball up?
I don't know why.
Everybody.
I don't know why I did that. I don't know why, but it's just like.
It was so crazy because, and for whatever reason, I don't know what y'all be saying about me behind my back before because I wasn't even performing comedy then, but you used to always be kind of eager to see what my feedback or your performance would be on stage. I don't know who told you that was something that needed to happen, but the only feedback I really had was DeAndre used to have his hand balled up like Arthur. And I'm like, put it in your pocket. If you don't know what to do with it, put it in your pocket.
Yeah, one thing. Like, sometimes I just put it in my pocket,
yeah.
You know. And I also try to work on, like, you know, like, cause in poetry, I'm used to doing poetry. In poetry, you know, we don't really walk around. We mostly, you know, stand in one spot. You know, mostly. You know, but in comedy, you know, it's just it's kind of awkward, standing in one spot. Like I'm working on like just moving around and like feeling more comfortable, like just using the whole space.
Yeah, cause I mean, you can use the whole stage.
Yeah, you can.
You don't have to stand in one spot. You can use your whole body if you want to. You can dance. You can take the mic off the stand. You can move the mic stand.
Yeah, to
Like
me, I'm just
it's hard, dog.
yeah, it's just something to work on. Just practice. Some even practice at home.
Yeah, and that's why you come to the open mic on Wednesdays and you get
Yep.
up there and do 5 minutes and just work on moving around. It might not be what the audience want to see. It's what you need to work on.
Yep.
I don't want anybody to think when they come down there to that mic that it have to be a perfect set.
No,
No, that's the
nothing is.
purpose of an
Yes.
open mic is so that we can practice and get better.
Yeah, so you
If
something when you get your real shows that you
if
work
part of
out
your
the
performance
kinks.
require you doing a back bend, come down to KJ's and work on doing the back
Hmm.
bend during your set. So that when it is that you're being paid to do the back bend, I know exactly when I'm supposed to hit the back
Yep,
bend.
cause like you don't want to mess up those shows that you get, cause you mess up one, people talk.
Yeah,
You don't want to mess up those big shows,
yeah.
cause when I bombed that show with Precious, whoo shit, damn, that shit fucked me up. Like that was a big show. And here's the thing about I was called. Everybody always wants to be. I want to be. I want to be in that position where I'm called last minute. I want those opportunities. Like you gotta be ready. You know, everybody can't just roll out of bed and tell a joke. Well, you should be able to. But like that's easier said than done. Yeah. I ain't get booked for a minute after that. But luckily I've rebounded from that. And like that shit. It's not that I did it, but I didn't want to. Like I was hit.
Yeah,
I
you be
didn't.
running
I
from
mean, I
it.
could have,
Yeah,
cause like it's just I'm nervous. Like damn, I don't know if I want to do this. That's why confidence is a big thing. Like bombing like that should have fucked you up. But
you have to get over it quick. Because you got to think sometimes you might be booked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you
yeah,
might bomb on Friday.
yeah.
What you gonna do Saturday and Sunday?
And the thing about it, I just killed the show. The other thing, that's why I say, don't think, oh, I got it, I made it now, I'm him. Cause when I did that show with Slim and I killed it, oh, I was so big headed. Like I posted, oh, I'm up next, I'm this, I'm this, I'm that. Then 2 days later, I'll do this show.
Yeah,
I think I heard crickets.
yeah.
Man, for real, like,
And I'm telling you, it happens. I asked for a guest spot on the show with my brothers,
oh,
and I
my
got
God.
up there and ate it. Like couldn't
Especially
remember
asking
nothing.
for a guest.
I
If
couldn't
you
remember.
ask for a guest shot,
Asked for
a
a
guest,
guest
you
spot.
better kill it.
And guess what? Jokes flew out my head. My big brother was like, "Nah, you wrong. Even if you don't remember your set, you live a life. You got stuff you could talk about. You better get up there and
Like, I
talk
remember,
about something." And I'm like,
Right,
"Okay."
I asked for a guest spot on one of Helen Banks shows. She books pretty big shows, and I had a 5 minute set on there. And when I say I bombed it, like, but the next time, but luckily she believed in me. I see something in you. Like I know you can do it. It's just like you don't have the body language. You were unsure of yourself. But she gave me another chance. I killed that one. But like it ain't the end of the world. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, you just don't want to bomb too many times. I mean,
No, you
bombs
don't.
can go off, but they just shouldn't repeatedly go
Oh
off.
yeah.
And it's a whole bunch of moving pieces to being on stage more than just
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
just
lot.
getting up here. Like yeah,
No, you can't.
it's a lot of moving parts.
A lot of people say that like when they don't do. I'm just up here. Don't make excuses. I also say that. I'll say comedians like I was just up here. I wasn't even trying. Like you were. You bombed. You were trying. What do you mean you weren't trying? What the fuck? You decided to bring your ass here and get up there. You were trying. Like don't make excuses.
It's a lot of moving parts, and it never feels good when you're not your best. I don't think anybody is proud when their comedy does not produce what it's supposed to, and it's supposed to produce laughter. So I don't think
It is.
anybody is
Yeah.
ever proud, but we also have to remember that we're human,
Mm.
and people want to kind of brush it off like it's not a big deal, but they
Another
know.
thing is I learned, I feel like humility is a big thing as a comedian. Don't just act like you got it. Like don't do that, cause I feel like God did that to me on purpose.
Mhm.
To humble myself. Like you only been doing this shit for a few months. You ain't shit yet. Like I feel like humility that's a big thing. And I told myself I would not call myself a stage killer till I when I killed like 25, 30 shows in a row, when I actually lift the whole roof off the building, then I would call myself that. But I'm not finna do good one show and then oh yeah, cause I used to do that.
I mean, you should always celebrate your victories, though. But I normally don't go on stage and say, "Oh, I killed," or
Yeah, just talking
like
about
what is
bragging about it.
But on the, I mean, on the other side of what we do, they say crush. So when I did good in that room that was full of snow like that, I said I crushed, and I put the laugh and crying emoji because I never had a reason to really use what their term is for doing a good job. Like be like,
I
"Oh,
didn't
I
even know
killed
that.
this."
I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
use.
they say crush. Like
I'm gonna do that.
yeah, amongst them be like, "Oh, oh, KB's up there crushing," like
Yeah,
just. But and so I made a post that said that the other day. But I try not to
that's
just
hilarious.
because.
I just. That's how I know. I ain't been doing it long because I just learned that today.
Yeah, because you
I
gotta think on
crushed.
social media, you can't say kill. You have to say unalive.
Yeah, you
So your
you
account,
kind of
because
do.
like if
Yeah.
your account is monetized and stuff
Yeah,
like
you
that,
definitely have
you
to be
can't
careful
say
what you
what
say.
you want to say. Yeah, because you just can't. You can't even post pictures of what you really want to. They'll flag
Yeah,
your account for your
yeah, they will.
monetization or whatever. So, everybody celebrates the what it is that they think is best. Ultimately, we just don't want to bomb. It ain't always got to be a killer or a crushing set every time. The goal
I
is
just,
to not
we're hard on
bomb.
ourselves.
Look, not
Like
bomb. Did I bomb? Okay, I didn't bomb. Did I do my best? Maybe not, but did I
to me,
bomb?
I'm hard on myself. Like to me, like if I don't lift the whole crowd, then like I bomb. That's just me. It's just I'm hard on my because I know where I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be where Mike Epps and Kevin Hart are. When they lift the whole crowd up. If I don't lift the whole crowd up, I don't think I did good. Even if everybody comes, oh, you did good. It's just I don't see it that way,
Mm-hmm.
cause I'm looking at where they are and where I want to be. And just doing okay or do it good, it's not good enough for me. Cause doing good enough ain't gonna make you millions. Unless well, it can. Unless some people kiss ass to get to where they at. I don't. It's definitely something in the street that aren't that funny. But like. You know, that's back then. Now you really have to. Back then they let people like that by. Now you really have to be a killer. You can't just get by without being funny now.
Interpersonal relationships matter a lot, and I just leave that at that.
Yeah, they do. It's
Look,
a lot of
they
clicks.
they
a
matter.
lot of
They
clicks.
matter a lot.
It's a lot of clicks.
That's the reason. Well, just not even that. Just interpersonal relationships outside of the smaller sectors and stuff like that. Um, that's the reason why, like, when we were kind of doing the prep work, I'm like, I'm not talking this anybody's name I'm bringing up is gonna be in a positive light. Just solely because I'm thankful for the interpersonal
Hmm.
relationships. I have experiences individually where so many people have imparted wisdom into me about what it is we do and how we do. But then also the interpersonal relationships that I have that have absolutely nothing to do with stand up comedy have absolutely impacted my comedy career.
Speaking of wisdom, like who gave you your best advice as a comedian? Say something that you remember and that you took to heart.
Best advice. I get advice from so many. I say Frank Lyles.
Hmm.
Best advice. His because he could sense my nervousness all the time,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He used to just be like, he always would tell me if I knew that I had to perform, if I could go somewhere like the day before and get one off.
Mhm.
Like, okay, I got that off of me because I know I
Mhm.
gotta go perform more. Okay, boom. That was helpful. Tenario, he gave me really, really good advice, and I would
Speaking
say
of scenario, he on my live.
Tenario has always been very
Oh yeah.
supportive from the very first day
Mhm.
that I came and I showed up
Bro.
trying to do comedy. Um, I think the best advice Scenario gave me was that treat being on stage like I'm just having a conversation with the audience.
Mhm.
Um,
You know, that's what Slim told me something like that too. He told
yeah,
me like, you know, what he told me that like, but if he said like, if it's a small room, like you wanna treat that like like it's your family.
hmm
You know, but like when it's a big crowd, you know, that's when you want to do your set, tell your jokes. But if it's like a small like intimate room, that's when like you know treating it like your family is the most important.
yeah.
You know.
Slim gave me advice because I used to carry these real stupid, dumb, huge, big purses. And he used to be like, I mean, I still got them and stuff like that, but he used to be like, if you're going to wear your purse, you're going to have to keep that purse game up. The reason I wear my purse on stage like that is because it's Slim.
Mm,
And I always got to make sure that when I put it on, I got a cold purse on, but my purse always with me. But Aretha Franklin always had her purse with her on stage too, because they had to give her 10 bands of cash. She was putting it in her purse and going on stage with it. So, you know what I'm saying? It translates. Cheryl Underwood used to take her purse on stage.
mhm.
Dominique Whedon always take her purse on
Mhm.
stage. So it's like it's a thing, but also where I'm gonna leave my purse at. It can't go nowhere but on stage with me, honestly.
Yeah, that
If
is
I'm gonna
true.
carry one. So
Yeah, I ain't leaving my purse around. I don't know none of these people there. I definitely ain't.
exactly. So
You know.
I just I I try to listen to the feedback as it comes.
Mm,
Um, I'm very thankful that I have developed relationships with people that actually want to see their peers succeed.
mm.
I haven't shut people out or offended them in a way that I feel that can't nobody say nothing to me or can't nobody tell me nothing. Um, yeah,
Really, C gave me some good advice. So he told me like slow it down. Like he told me he like when you have you try to say so many jokes in a certain amount of time. You don't have to do that. Just slow it down and do your set.
yeah, pacing. That's
Yeah,
something I struggle with also.
yeah,
Um, you know, but that comes with practice and with
yeah.
time. Um,
How do you feel about like doing an open mic like before like a book show? Do you feel like that's important? Like
it depends on what a person needs.
yeah.
It's like you can't always make it to a mic before
Oh yeah.
you perform. You
Yeah, I
might have to
definitely
go
try to
home
do
and
that.
talk to the mirror. You might have to go live on social media. You might have to record yourself at the house and just
Yeah,
play
definitely
yourself
something
back.
if I can. I
Yeah.
a
If
while
I
I
if I
used to
can
be
get to
like
a mic, hell yeah, I'm going.
that's definitely
Especially
something I want to try to do for now
if I
on.
know that the audience from the show not gonna be in the audience at the mic. Then yeah, I want to go and work out material and see can I.
That's definitely something I want to start doing more. Like going to open mics before shows. Cause for a while I used to believe I don't need open mics no more, but like that's not true. That's definitely something I want to get out of. Saying I don't need open mics because I still got stuff to work on. That's
Yeah,
what open mics are for.
yeah, and I mean you gonna always have stuff to work on if you always writing. That's the thing, and
Yep.
that's a lesson from Tenario and us just having conversations in the past and the present about hosting a mic because he used to host When You With Charles and
Yeah, he did.
the
Doesn't he
he
host
did
KJ's too?
he does the what do they say? He's the show starter for the grown folks comedy,
Oh yeah, yeah,
but
he is.
it's
Yep, yep,
imperative that you're constantly writing. You
yep,
know what I'm saying? If you're constantly writing, then there's never a reason for you not to be at an open mic because you
yep.
always have something that you need to work out.
Yeah, I say,
So,
having you can have all the jokes in the world, but like if you can't remember them, then what use is having them?
yeah. And I mean, and open mic is a place where you can go
Mm-hmm.
up there with your notebook. You can go up there with your notes on your phone. You can do
Mm-hmm.
all that. At an open mic, you're not supposed to be reading off on the phone and no
No, not
paid
on our
show.
show.
Right.
That's a bad look, and I don't call nobody out, but I've seen some people do that before.
Yeah.
And
So
it's not a good look.
there's never really a reason not to be at an open mic, and you'll find that a lot of the people that we're surrounded around that are very strong on stage that they go to multiple mics in a
Mm-hmm.
week,
Mm-hmm.
all around the city. regardless of the race or what side of the city that it's on.
Absolutely, you want to hit them all. It's just like
Yeah,
you can be good at hitting both crowds. You know,
and
your
then
white crowds, black. You know.
comedians produce shows, and so if you have a whole genre of or subset of people that have never seen you perform before, then they're not gonna book you because they've
They're
never seen
not.
you perform before.
They're
But
not. They don't care
yeah,
what flyer you on. They don't care who you
nah.
seen you on with. They could have seen you could be on flyers of Mike Epps. You know what I mean? If they haven't seen you, then they're not gonna book you.
And you can't get the feedback and the support
You know.
from your peers because people that run rooms, um, if they really really care about the development of what comes out of their room, they will help you
Mhm.
develop in multiple ways, not just in one way. And that's what I say like about There It Is that they develop your stage, they help develop your confidence, they help develop not just your talent. They build multiple parts of the art of the artist. So when that product goes out the door, it looks a certain type of way.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So most people that run mics generally, Tenario helped me write one of my only funny jokes I used to have back in the day. Like for real, I had the beginning part, but he helped me kind of write it, get it together. We ping ponged off of it out in front of Wing It, and I still pull on that joke. Right now to this day, I pull on it. I tell everybody when I had my show, I told them that I picked Tenario the host because he helped me write at the time was one of my funniest jokes.
Yeah, Tenario's hilarious. I fuck with Tenario.
So yeah, I think it's important to go to open mics.
I believe that advice I was told. Always work on a solid five. Don't work on. That's one of the first things I was told. I forgot who told me that. I honestly don't remember, but it was said work on a solid five before everything else. Work on a solid five. Then work on a 7. Then work on 10. Then work your way up. But first things first, work on a solid 3 to 5. Because even when you make it into the industry, when you get to open up for those big comedians, you most likely only gonna be doing 5 minutes. Your first big, your breaking opportunity, you're only gonna be doing like 5-7 minutes. So you need to work on that anyway.
Yeah. Developing sets in bookable increments. It's like somebody asked me, Arvin asked me one day. He was
Arvin
like, you got 10
he's
minutes.
hilarious.
I'm like, nah. He was like, you're a grown ass woman. You got 10 minutes worth of something you could talk about. And I'm like, but he was right. I mean, if I'm grown, I'm 43 years old. If I can't talk to somebody for 10 minutes, then something's wrong.
That's a confidence thing,
Yeah.
like you a second guessing yourself, but like you went out there and you did it. Comedy is 100% confidence.
Sometimes
really
you
is.
got to do it that one time. It's like
Once you
I
do
know
it
I
once.
had that solid 5, but then once it is that I did that 10 that one time, I was like, oh, okay, 10 ain't that bad. Now when I did that 19 minutes, man, I wanted to run out of there. When I got off stage, I thought I was gonna throw up. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Also, like I'm not gonna say stamina is there, but like that's important too. We not used to being on there for like 10, 20, 30 minutes. Let's say you have to do that. That's you might not Darius might not be used to doing that. Talking for a long time. That's the shit. That's a lot. Talking and moving around that can exhaust you.
Yeah. Even breathing.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get that. Like, I had open heart surgery 2 years ago. So, when I first started getting back on stage after I had my surgery, it used to be kind of hard for me to breathe because people don't, like, really fully know, like, how much it takes for you to get that wind out of you.
Do, like, breathing practices?
Yeah, but I was still in recovery. Like, I had stainless steel wires in my chest. Like, when I first came back outside, like, some of my stitches were still in. Like, yeah, my body was not ready for that. But I used to be on stage sometimes wheezing, like, just because it used to be just that hard. And I'm cognizant of not smoking as much cannabis. I ingest way more cannabis than I smoke to try to save my voice and my lungs. Like, I know the things and the challenges I have personally that compromise my voice and compromise my performance. slowing down, pacing.
Yeah, that's
I ain't
another
gotta
thing
be
that really
rushing.
told me. Like you
Yeah,
slow it down and like you breathing too much.
yeah,
You know, like you slow it down, that'll help you. You know.
yeah. That I won't be gasping for air because I'm trying to rush and spit these
Right.
words out. So
You know.
it's a lot. It's a lot. It's like I know that depending on what type of stage it is, it's like okay, I can do fine on this. Okay, is this a whole lot of steps? Is this
Yeah.
flat? Is this it's all different stuff that come into play.
I think it was like, well, you sound like Eminem up there.
But
I'm like, damn. I was like, what? He was like, well, yeah, that sound like Eminem. Damn.
gas. Yeah, so
Real, slow it down.
but it is
Really.
a whole thing. Like I just not even endurance. I was talking to a friend of mine
Mhm.
about the way that it is that we eat as comedians because most of the places that we are they sell fried everything. It's
Yeah,
fried
they do.
chicken,
Fried
fried
chicken,
fish,
you know,
French
fried, a lot
fries,
of butter.
fried.
Yep.
And a lot of times you have your plan. Okay, I done ate good before it is I done left home,
That's
and
why I try to eat before, so.
but
And
then
I don't want
I
to, so I
mean,
won't be eating.
but do I want to eat before a show?
Don't,
My
don't
stomach
even
get
look
the
at the
bubbling,
menu.
or
Don't
do
look
I
at
feel
the menu.
queasy?
You know.
But then you be out so
Or you
late.
might see somebody else. You know, you
Yeah.
see other people bringing
But
their plates
but then
out.
you
That shit
out,
look.
but you out so late, and then your food choices be poor, and then you end up feeling bad. It's like you gotta feed your body is the machine, and for the
Mhm.
machine to work right, you gotta feed it better. Like I've been buying, cause I've been running so lately. The like pre-made salads from
Mhm.
the grocery store that you could just dump all the stuff in, and
Do you
it's
believe
already
in,
got
do
the
you drink a
fork.
lot? Do you believe in drinking a lot of water? Like
Yeah,
before?
I
That's
have to.
important. That's important
Yeah,
too.
all of it. But that's I'm like,
You know, because
I
another
never
thing, when your
thought.
mouth dry like that, that shit,
Yeah,
it's a, comedy is more than people think. If you, comedy is way more than just telling jokes.
yeah.
Like it's literally way more than that.
And
You
that,
know?
and I had to be more aware of how I was treating my body because I think I'm up late at night. I still have to get up early in the morning because I have responsibilities in my home.
Mhm.
Um, how I eat impacts how I look and how I feel on stage. All that. I'm not in a position to buy new clothes. I'm not at the point where comedy is paying me millions and millions of dollars that if my clothes get too tight, I can just go get some more. So I have to be aware. It's like I'm thankful that there are some places that we perform consistently that have grilled options and they have salad
Mhm.
options. But a lot of the places that we perform only really have fried or cheesy or
Yeah, they do.
and I look at historically the way that we've lost so many of our comedians to heart attacks and
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying?
You know, some of them. Lavelle Crawford used to be huge. He lost a lot. He lost a lot of weight
Yeah,
now, but like
yeah.
he lost about at least about 200 pounds. But he was, he was huge.
Yeah. So
Like,
we have to be mindful of all those
yeah,
things.
he almost died because he was like that's what made him change. Like that stuff matters.
Yeah. And a lot of times we don't consider the
You know,
additional tax that we put on our body. And I just had to come to that revelation myself. It's like it's warm outside. I can eat fruits. I can do this, that, and the third. Like, I can kind of do some different kind of stuff because I'm going to eat my fried potato skins after I perform on Wednesdays at KJ's. I'm going to eat them. But I'm not going to eat like that every single day
Yeah.
because it's going to be hard on my physical body. It's going to be hard on my respiratory for me to be able to catch my breath, breathe. I'm going to drink water so my mouth ain't dry because I smoke. I don't drink no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's more to it than just getting up there. You got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, you do.
If you want to continue to be funny, we have lost so many people in comedy and what we do.
Especially back in the day, a lot of them, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of comedians used to smoke a lot of cigarettes.
Smoke
you know.
cigarettes.
A lot of them, you know,
smoke
lot,
cocaine,
yeah, a
all
lot of
kind
them.
of
It's a
stuff.
whole lot of them. You know,
Yeah.
Chris Farley, you know.
Yeah, we done
lot
lost
of
a
them,
lot
you
of
know,
people because
you know,
of
they
their
use
lifestyle
other
choices.
drugs.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. As a comedian, like if you think you need, if you think you need it to, if you think you gotta, you know, take enhancements, you gotta smoke that stuff to be funny, then like you probably need to reevaluate. Like, why do you have to smoke crack to be funny?
I don't know
I don't get
anybody
it. And
that's
a lot of,
smoking crack to be funny, DeAndrew.
I don't know,
would
but a
hope.
lot of them used to do it.
Yeah,
A
no.
lot of them used to do it, especially back in the day.
Look, DeAndrew said people smoking crack to be funny. I don't know, but
Back in the day, they used.
overall wellness matters in what we do.
This definitely ones that's popping pills. Like I know for a fact. I ain't
But
calling nobody name, but
don't. But
they do it.
I don't know
It
what
happens.
nobody else. But the thing
It
is that
happens.
we have to focus on ourselves. Because the reality of it is, we gonna see all kind of stuff around us. We are all adults.
Yeah.
As an adult, you can choose to do what it is that you want to do with your body.
And they show you what not to do.
Yeah, and if you don't
I
want to
will show
partake,
you
you
what
don't
not to do.
partake. But I don't know what nobody is doing. All I know is what I do. I
Yep.
don't know what nobody else do. And even if it is that I do know what they do, that has absolutely nothing to do with me. It don't. It's, as long as it is that when they choose to use their drugs or whatever they do, that they don't come tripping with me, have you a high and jolly good time. I don't care.
I mean, I try not to curb, but it's just like, damn, don't you see how many people be losing their lives to this? Like, y'all had learned, y'all got 50 years of examples, and there you want to do it. Like, don't be like the rest. Shit,
I got my own life to worry about.
I don't got time for that shit.
Save my own
Like,
life.
if I'ma die, like, I'm not finna die because I was smoking crack and popping pills. I'm not gonna die because of that, shit. There's a million ways to die, but I don't want to go out that way. Like, for real. Like, a lot of people, but taking care of yourself is definitely important. You go out there, your throat dry, you're all tired and shit. You done did 5 minutes, now all of a sudden you're tired. And another thing, like, remember your jokes. That's a lot. That's cause that's endurance too. You're like, damn, I can't remember. Damn, what else did I come up with? That's cause your brain, is tired. Your health, a lot of that. It's that's important.
Yeah.
Taking care of yourself is a big thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it plays a factor in everything we do.
Drink a lot of water. Eat right. Don't eat a six. I don't. We like a 6-piece of cheese fries. But if you eat that and you be asleep all day, and you gotta do 20 minutes, you may forget, 10 minutes through, like, damn, shit. Cause another thing as a set, I ain't gonna say, you're as good as your last performance. You're as good as your last joke. That's also too. You can start off good. But if you finish bad, they remember that. They remember that. So like it's telling jokes is just like that's 10% of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like in any industry. Like even if you rap, it's a whole lot of people that can rap. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't got no rhythm, then you suck. Like a lot of anybody can put words together, but like if you're not on beat, you know what I'm saying?
Don't do that, cause Silk the Shocker chased the beat forever, and that's still Bae. Silk still out there chasing the beat.
That's one.
That's
one.
That's still Bae.
That's one. He
that's
won.
Still...
He's one. And it's a whole lot of people that think he sucked too. I know more people that think he sucked than think he's good.
I didn't say he was good, but he was successful at doing it.
He was, but that's rare, That's very rare, Most people you gotta be on beat, You can have the best rhymes in the world, but if you ain't on beat, it sucks. Performing, if you can't remember your set, like you're not a good performer, then it ain't. It's a lot more to it than just rapping, That's anything.
I tell you, anybody, that's the age of beast. It don't matter how good you think you are. When you get up there, every time it's like the first time. Because you don't know who is sitting out there in that audience. You don't know what's getting ready to come up ahead of you.
The person that could be the boogie for the chance of your life can be there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's why I said, like, please let me have my strongest performance at this time. I don't want to like shit.
Yeah.
Real. Like everybody has off nights, but you just don't want to have it at, at the wrong time,
Yeah. And the person that's doing the booking ain't always somebody you could recognize or somebody that everybody know. Or a lot of these people are promoters and they blend in.
They try to blend in, Like they may be somebody, you have no idea who it is. it may be somebody that you having a conversation with. The
And don't
person that
even
you
know.
having a conversation with
And
could
that's
be
the reason
somebody that
why
can book
you
you.
got to be careful
Yeah, you
of the
do.
conversations
Yeah,
that you
you do.
have
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
sometimes you don't know who it is that you're talking
A
to.
lot of comedians, they want to be funny, man. And that's another thing with crowd work too. You know, be careful. A lot of comedians, they want to be funny in the crowd. They want to pick at the audience. But that person you picking at could be somebody that's booking you.
Yeah.
They might not fight, or they might be their mama or their brother or son or whoever, and they might not think that's funny.
But you know, it's some people's forte and a part of what they do to integrate the audience directly into their performance. And I don't think it's anything wrong with it when you have control. But I
Yes,
always
yes, you have
tell
to have
people don't
control.
mess with the audience if you're not prepared to mess with the audience because there are people that are in their audience that flame you
Yeah, they
way
will.
more than it is, and so you don't go down there messing with the audience. If
A
the
lot of
audience
comedians,
come
a
messing
lot of
with you,
comedians
that's
are
different.
funny, but they can't jump.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
difference. You can be
yeah.
funny as hell, but you can't jump.
So
There's a lot of that. So like, if you know you can't jump, don't do it. You
yeah,
know?
messing with the crowd, and then also being able to um, integrate and interact with the crowd and come
And
back
you
to
don't
your
have to.
set in
You
the
don't.
right
And you
spot.
don't have to do it by insulting them. A lot of people,
Yeah.
think oh, you gotta talk about somebody to. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to insult somebody to bring the crowd up. You know, that's why Jason Jenkins is another. He's another good one. I like it. I like his crowd work.
What's up, cuz?
I like his crowd work. Obviously I like Javon's crowd work.
Which
Marvin
Javon? We got more than one.
Westmoreland.
Okay.
I've never seen Bibbs.
You
I've never
never
seen
seen Javon
Javon
Bibbs.
Bibbs like host it. I never seen him do a lot of crowd work, but I've seen him like tell jokes, But like, who else? Marvin Davis. He's another one. Great crowd work. Speaking of comedians, like I'm gonna ask you a tough question. Like, who would you say are your top 5 funniest males?
Period.
Yeah. Well, just St. Louis comedians. Like, who would you say your top? That you saying your top 5?
I'd rather not say.
I know that's a tough one, because it's a lot. I'll say it. To me, definitely gotta put Marvin Davis. He's definitely one of the funniest, and I've only seen him once. But the one time seeing him like that, he got an impression in my head. That man is so motherfucking funny. It's unreal. That who else? He's funny. Jesse Taylor. Jesse Taylor. Who else? Jesse Taylor. Yeah, what is his name? What's his guy's name? Jesse Taylor. I say Kenny Howell. Kenny Howell. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say, although I've only seen Frank Lyles twice, I gotta put him there. He's hilarious. And then I'm gonna say, Tenario.
Okay, so I didn't answer the first time because I wanted to see where you was going with this. I'll go ahead and jump in because and I'm gonna name only people that it is that I can put my hand on and I can touch, right? Because we got a lot of people that's from St. Louis.
Yeah, some you may only see once, twice,
Right.
But
people that I can put my hand on and touch, I'm never gonna forget Darius Bradford. Darius Bradford, phenomenal writer. I still remember a joke he told when he was on the Ricky Smiley sketch show back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it used to be a sketch show. It used to be on BET. And
I
Darius,
gotta
know.
put him there. I gotta take. Matter of fact, I gotta take somebody else. I don't know who, but he got. It's just so many funny comedians.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, but I look at it like, okay, somebody that I can actually put my hand on and I can touch them.
Yep.
I can put my hand on Darius and touch him. Can I pick up the phone and call him? No, because I don't have his phone number, but I know how to get in touch with him. You know what I'm saying? I say Jesse Taylor just solely because of what Jesse used to give my household and my family back in the day. My daughter was a newborn baby. Jesse used to have this show at the Spotlight. And he used to give out Metro Tick style tickets. We get in the show for free. Me and my ex-husband, we was so broke and poor. Oh, we was so poor. We was so poor
Damn.
when I was married.
That
We was
is
so
funny.
poor. We had that baby,
So
a new
poor.
house. We
Damn.
was so poor. But we knew on Sunday
Shit.
nights that we could go out and we didn't have to spend all our money. We could get us 2 drinks, and this was back in early
Speaking of
2000s.
Jesse Taylor, he has his show at the Treasures is free to get.
Yeah.
It's free. You know, that's
And
why I fuck with. He
I'm
definitely
like,
does that. You
but
know?
Jesse used to afford us. I mean, and that's how I got acquainted with St. Louis Slim back then. And Slim used to be down there turning room to part. So I met Darius Bradford, Jesse Taylor, St. Louis Slim, Frank Lyles. What? Darius, Jesse, Slim, Frankie.
That's 4.
That's 4. That I could put my Vincent Bryant. You crazy. You crazy.
I need to see him because
Look,
I
that's why I'm
keep
like,
hearing.
you
I
crazy.
keep hearing this
Yeah,
name.
that's
but
why I'm
somebody-
like, you crazy.
I need to see him.
And
I need
these
to
are
see him.
people that I actually could reach my hand out and I could touch these
I need
people.
to see him.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
When I see them, I could greet them by their name and they know that I'm KB and it's, hey, what's up? Come on, let's take a picture.
I definitely need to see him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go
What
there.
would you say for the female side?
That I could put my hands on and touch. Precious J.
Oh yeah, she's hilarious.
Are you crazy? Precious J. I mean, I don't even know if it is 5. Precious J, Taji.
Oh, it's something. It's a lot. I've seen it's something.
But I'm talking about in the top 5 though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say I gotta say Purdy B. Purdy B for me. Purdy B. Noni. Of course, Precious. Mary Jane.
Oh, okay. Let me
Yeah.
throw in here because I'm gonna jump in. So I got Precious Taji. I got Meredith Hopping. I love Meredith Hopping.
You know,
I
I
love
haven't
you,
seen her.
Meredith.
I haven't seen.
I
I've
love
never
Meredith
seen her,
Hopping. I
you know.
love Meredith Hopping. I love Meredith Hopping.
Oh, I think I did. I think I have seen her.
Yeah.
I think I've seen her.
That's
She's
on my-
funny. I've seen
Mary
her.
Jane. Definitely Mary Jane. Even though she moved away and left
Yeah,
us.
she did. She in L.A.
I ain't mad,
She doing
dog.
her thing.
Look,
I don't
I ain't
blame
mad,
you. I don't blame nobody that wants to move out. You know, if they feel like it's better for themselves. You know, do it. You know, don't worry what nobody thinks. You know, but she definitely doing her
And
thing.
another female comic. Top 5. Yeah, I got Precious, Meredith, Taji, Mary Jane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's definitely
That's-
some funny.
you know what I'm
females.
saying? I don't put myself in the top just because I don't see myself that way. If somebody else would like to, I believe that I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely
believe
don't
that I
think
do
I'm
well, but
nowhere
I'm
near
not-
that. I
I'm not
wouldn't
in the
even do
top.
that. You know, I think I got the
Yeah.
potential to be. You know, I want to get there, but I wouldn't even until I kill 25 shows in a row. I'm not putting myself in no cover.
Yeah.
That's just me. Even if people think I am, you know, because like just because somebody tells me something, you know, that don't mean I gotta run with it.
Yeah, but that's all I'm like.
You know, even if it's popular opinion, you know, I don't think like
right
that.
now I got 4. And I'm trying to think.
What about, have you seen Lady Ree?
I like Lady Ree. She wouldn't be in my top 5, but I enjoy her when I see her.
Who else? Did I name 5? I think I put Taji as my 5th. 'Cause she's definitely funny.
Yeah,
She's
I don't
hilarious.
have a 5th.
Yeah, I said Taji, Mary Jane, Purdy B, Nuni, and Precious. That'll be my 5.
Yeah, I don't have a top 5, and that ain't a diss on nobody. It's
Yeah,
just
you know, it's
you
just
know,
an opinion.
if
It's
I
an
look
opinion.
at people that are working, that are out, that I personally enjoy, then
Yeah,
that would be
yeah.
my top 4.
Yeah, speaking of Mary Jane, she was at my very first show that I produced. She was my very first one.
That's
And
what's up.
And I've seen her several times. Like she's definitely hilarious. Yep. I hope to work with her again one day. She's hilarious. And I said the Mills. Now, to actually like mainstream comedians, who would be your top 5? You know, legendary, like legendary,
Regardless
or
of
like,
gender, just top 5 period. You want me top 5 regardless of gender? Just my top
I
5.
can't even name 5 mainstream female comedians. Like I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Well, let me go on ahead and do 5 mainstream female comedians. I got Wanda Sykes. I got what's the girl? Nicole Byer. Yvonne Orji. Angela Johnson.
Angela Johnson.
Dominique Whitten. They're my top 5.
The top 3 that I've
On the
could
women's
think of
side.
off the top of my head, you know, definitely LaWanda Page. I love her. You know, although most of her stand-up clippings are like audio. You know, she didn't have a lot of actual footage. You know, but I listen to it and she's definitely hilarious. You know, her gotta put Monique. She's hilarious. And Wanda Sykes. Those are the 3 I could think of.
Okay.
You know, for the male side, Dave Chappelle is my favorite comedian. I love him. Dave Chappelle, Red Fox. A lot of people don't know he does comedy, but I do. And Dick Gregory is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Dick Gregory. A lot of people don't even know that, which is a shame. I'm gonna say he's kind of a modern day comedian, but I love Ali Sadiq. I love
He's
him.
a great storyteller.
Yeah, I love his comedy. And Bernie Mac. It would probably be my top 5.
Bernie Mac, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock. I enjoy Lil Rel.
Lavelle?
No, Lil Rel. Lil Rel Howard. Howard. And my 5th one. It ain't far because it's gonna be on Vincent Bryant. Because it's both.
I need to check this Vincent guy out.
He's a phenomenal writer, but he's actually really funny.
Is he on like clips on YouTube? I definitely gotta check him out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that when I'm gonna check out this Vincent Bryant guy.
Big shouts to Vincent. Love you.
I'm gonna definitely check him out.
But he's a
Is he from St. Louis?
He's a writer on the Miss Pat show.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna definitely check him out.
Things, but yeah, like cause yeah.
Oh, definitely gotta check him out. I love comedy. Like I love watching guys that I never heard of. Well, I've heard of him a few times. I just haven't seen him. But I love seeing like new comedians, like whether I heard of him or not. You know, cause that helps you grow too. You know?
Yeah.
Yep. Like seeing like different styles. You know, all of that stuff. Storyteller. Who you think tells the best stories out of comedians?
I don't know. It depends. I mean, I enjoy Ali Sadiq for his
he definitely is a great storyteller.
Yeah, but that's also the same reason I enjoy Frank is because he's a really great storyteller. So those would be my 2 on storytelling. What you call it? She tells good stories also, but she always says some stuff. Kathy Griffith. She tells really good stories. You know what I'm saying? But she always got some stuff going on too. So
I've seen her a few times. Ali Sadiq is probably the best for me. Like I love I can watch his stand-ups like back to back. You know, like, he has stand-ups I've seen over and over. He's definitely one of my favorites. You know, out of the modern day guys. Let's see. As a comedian, what's something that you want to work on that you feel like you can improve in that would take you to the next level?
My pacing. And getting timing together, understanding that I'm not in a rush. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a microphone, so I'm in control.
Yeah, it's you. It's you
nobody else has the microphone but me. So just always remembering that I can take my time.
That's definitely something that I want to work on too, because the shows that I've done, like my absolute best, I got that in control. That's something I want to do consistently. You know, work on my pace and not saying everything so fast. You know, because when you got this, cause you got 5 minutes or 10 minutes, that don't mean you don't have to say work out your whole workbook in 10 minutes.
Right.
You
But
know,
and I think focusing on, in my 5 minutes, working these 2 jokes instead of do 10 jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm just working these two and letting it grow and letting it build and letting it grow and letting it build and making sure that I listen back because I can hear where the people laughed and where they didn't laugh and
mm-hmm.
what hit and what didn't hit and why did it hit this way and all that. So, yeah, my
Absolutely,
timing.
absolutely. And also, like work on time, record yourself too. You know, because nobody people can give you critique, but nobody sees it better than you. No one has a better perspective of you than yourself because you.
And that's also a benefit of the Prelude open mic that if you bring a flash drive, you can actually get the video. So
Mm-hmm.
you can actually see what your body was doing, what your face was doing, and you can hear.
The facial expression, that's important
Yeah,
too.
because everything that you're doing is a part of your performance. So,
What's the name? Commander. He makes some good. He definitely he makes some. His facial expressions been killing me. It's like making fun. That's definitely a big part of it. You know, not just standing there like a statue. You know, I don't know why that was funny. There you go, facial expressions. Bro, that facial expression just killed me right there.
and I'm like, what is it?
Like, let's see. Well, I'll touch on everything, most things. Well, besides, I know you do your open mic at KJ's. Do you have any other projects in the works that you want to touch base on?
I will be starting my first film called Genesis Bond. It's written by Mika Payne. A lot of people from the comedy community as well as music and acting community are gonna be in it. I'm excited about that. It's my first feature film, but not my
Okay,
first
okay,
movie. Oh,
okay.
um, cause see, I'm doing everything that it is that my mama dreaded for me to do. Like I sell drugs, I get on stages and tell jokes. I've been in music videos, all the stuff that your mother be afraid for you to do. Um, yeah, working on putting out some projects, some different kind of stuff. I wanna kind of focus more on storytelling. I really enjoy being on that Goblin Town show and telling that story. So, kind of doing some reverse engineering and studying. I'm studying right now, and I mean I got some bookings for in May, but the promo hasn't came out for them yet, and nobody's paid a deposit, so they don't exist. Um, but I've had conversations with people
Speaking
about some
of
stuff.
hey, like, how do you feel about the business side of comedy? How do you deal with that?
Um,
Because a lot of people they be on bullshit.
well, I mean, your business is how you conduct your business. I have no control over how anybody else chooses to conduct business or attempts to conduct business with me. I know the standard that it is that's acceptable for me and what I'm gonna do. Um, a lot of what we do is hand to hand business, so we taking people's word for it. A lot of times, and
I don't know. Is that
hoping
some?
that
I
they
know
don't.
some comedians, that require a deposit.
Yeah.
Would you ever get to that point? Would you think about like requiring a deposit?
Depending on what it is, I'd require a deposit right now.
Oh yeah.
Because especially if I don't know you,
Oh yeah.
like I've never met you before. It's different when my peers are putting productions together. Um, I would prefer to have a deposit because then I know you seriously. At least I got half my money because
Mhm.
it costs money for me to put my clothes on to come to your
Mhm.
venue,
Mhm.
with hopes that I'm gonna be paid. But yeah, sometimes people frown at they like, how you already asking for a deposit because I'm
Ain't nothing
blocking
wrong with
off
that.
time on
There's
my
nothing wrong with
calendar.
that.
But you know what I'm saying. But I'm blocking off time on my calendar.
You
Um,
know when his
and
and
if you
also it's also another piece of advice that somebody told me. When you know your worth, people think you scamming. And that's that. I can like when that's and that's the real truth.
And I don't necessarily think it's that for me. I just know that so much of the business that we do is handshake. And that's the reason why your interpersonal relationships matter
Yeah,
because
absolutely true.
certain handshakes I'm not going to trust. No, I need you to go ahead and send a deposit,
And
which
doing
cash
good
transfer
business and doing
service.
good business is important.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
very much so is. You know, but it's about you don't have to be rude. You don't have to be nasty. If people don't like the way that it is that you want to handle your business, then they can choose to do business with other people. And it doesn't have to be nasty. It don't have to be, well, I need this, this, this. Be like, okay, well, this is how much. Are you prepared to send a deposit? And if
Mhm.
they say no, okay, well, let me know when it is that you're ready to send a deposit.
You know,
If
then
I
we can.
haven't been booked, then I'll gladly send you my Cash App, Venmo, Zelle details.
Yep.
Until then, you are not on my calendar,
Nope. Nope.
and I'm available for booking on this day. So if somebody else comes with their deposit on the same day that you want to book me,
Yeah.
guess I'm
Shit out
booked.
of luck. Shit out
Look,
of
guess
luck.
I'm booked because that
Shit out
guarantees
of
and
luck.
secures the spot. If I haven't taken any money from you, how do you as a booker know that I'm even going to show up? You know what I mean? No, inside of our world it's different though, cause it's hand to hand. You know
Mm.
what I mean? A lot of stuff we do for one another is not gonna be in the same way as when a third party book you for their family reunion. I'm not finna get ready to tell you that I'm booked to host your family reunion and you ain't send me no deposit and I don't know you like that. You saw me perform at KJ's and wanna book me for
Cause I've definitely run into that. You know,
yeah,
'cause like
well,
you
are
know,
you
cause
deposit
I was
ready?
agreed to be a paid a certain amount, and I only got 60% of that.
Right.
And I was, counting on getting what I was supposed to be paid,
Yeah.
so I wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, nobody is ever happy when they don't get paid. But
Like,
how you move in business sometimes is reactionary. It's a reaction to an experience that you've had where you didn't have the outcome you desired. Some ways that we do business is proactive to try to prevent ourselves from being in situations that we do not like. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
It's like, nah. Um, Everybody does business the way that they do. The way I look at business is different. I worked in corporate America for 20 years. I look at stuff totally different than a lot of my peers. A lot of the people that try to book me, I'm still going to look at it differently just because of my business background. But that doesn't mean that I'm out here trying to set some unreasonable standard or be difficult to work with because I don't necessarily think people asking for deposits mean that they are scamming. But for people who are not accustomed to people asking for deposits, they feel like a person just trying to get money out of them. Like, no, like
That's
people have to make
when you think
arrangements for their life.
like, don't ever let
Yeah.
nobody tell you. Like, you can ask, don't ever let nobody tell you, oh, you can't do this, you not worth this, because you can ask for as much as you want.
Yeah.
Literally, if somebody wants to pay me $10,000, I've never believed. Obviously, I've never been paid that, but like, if somebody wants to pay me that, who am I? Hey, if you think I'm worth that, then hey,
Yeah.
yeah, don't ever let
Yeah.
nobody tell you what you're worth.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, the way that you do business is the way that you do business. Some people have management. I know you have management. Other people don't. I manage. You know what I'm saying? I have a consultant that I work directly with. You know what I mean? When I need to fact
so
check
ain't
and
nobody
verify
finna,
and
so
stuff
ain't
like
nobody
that.
finna bullshit you.
Well, I mean, I get bullshitted all the time. I'm human. You know, some people
Yeah,
got
yeah.
silver tongues. I'm never going to say that I ain't never got worked out here because I think that's just a part of the game. But
Yeah, it definitely
once you
is.
get worked
But
that one
once it
time, I
happens
bet
to
you
you,
don't
it
get
won't
worked
happen
again. I got worked on a booking last weekend. Lady had me in her moving chairs and stuff. Like, lady, that's not why I'm here.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm not finna get an attitude. I'm always be a professional. But I bet you it won't ever happen again.
Listen, I came
Yeah,
here to
we.
tell jokes. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
got
I'm
me,
like.
you got me doing hot shorts.
Yeah, we didn't all got work
Yeah, you
before.
gotta,
If a
yeah,
comedian tell you
yeah,
that
man.
they ain't went somewhere for one thing and the money ain't been what it was supposed to
Everybody
be,
there lying.
everybody done got work.
Everybody,
That's the reason why they conduct their business the way they
everybody
do.
done been, everybody done been, everybody done been had before. Everybody done bombed before. We all done did it, and that's part of the growing pains. Like, you gotta learn from those experiences, so
Yeah.
it doesn't happen again.
My number one thing in business, I can cuss on her.
Hmm.
I can cuss on her.
Yeah, of course.
Well, you know, well, the number one key in business, especially me as a woman, is don't fuck the money. Because when you fuck the money, you fuck up the money. So,
Mm-hmm.
having sex with your coworkers and your peers can really put you in compromising situations and mess up your money. Even though it can be challenging to do because we're around each other so much, I try my best not to. You know what I'm saying? Be involved with my coworkers. That's generally just off limits. I don't date comedians.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. And people don't think that that's a business move, but it really is.
It is.
I didn't date my coworkers when I worked in corporate America because if we fall out, like I want to
Yeah, I
put
realize
like
if you date him,
open cans of tuna in your drawer over the weekend while you gone and you come back stinky. Like I don't want to see you every day. And we done went through a bad, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
breakup or something like that. It can mess up your money, all kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Like,
You date somebody in the industry and like, you know,
we ain't there yet.
and you mess it up, you know, you fall
Yeah.
out with them, you know, they get to talking bad about you. Or
Yeah, so
something not true, that can
yeah,
ruin
you just
your career.
yeah, don't
yeah.
fuck the money because it fuck
Do
up
not-
the money.
For real, for real.
And that's the best. And I don't hang with
That's the
bitches
truth.
because bitches be acting like bitches. But yeah,
I don't hang with niggas because niggas be acting like bitches too.
there you go.
Always
See?
be in all these cliques and shit, you know, then they come to me talking about each other behind their back. These could be, there's so much of that goes
Focus on the funny.
For real,
Like-
for real,
like
for real.
what- that's-
Come on now.
That's Jason Nelson Company. Shouts out to
For real,
Jason
for real,
Nelson.
like,
Focus just if we could focus on being funny, we'll get so much farther than what
we
it is
would,
that
we
we do.
would. You know, he wouldn't even stop making it a competition.
Yeah, I try
It's
not
not
to.
a competition.
It is a competition. It's a friendly one, but this is a competition. Absolutely. Everybody is fighting to be the best. Everybody is fighting to make the most money. Everybody is fighting to get out of this city that we know has so much talent inside of it.
But we can all make it.
No, we can't. I don't agree. That's like saying all the kids good on the sports team. No, we ain't got no participation awards. Either you got it or you don't. And everybody is competing for the same spot. And if we going to agree to disagree, we all ain't going to make it.
That is true. That is
We
true.
all ain't supposed to make it.
Not supposed to. It's a.
And it doesn't mean that because a person doesn't make it based off of what.
It don't mean they're not funny.
Right. That's not what that means. But we ain't all going to make it.
That's God. God might not have that in your.
And
you
this
might,
is
you
absolutely
you
a
might be the
competition.
funniest guy in the world, but you know, for whatever reason, God might not have that. That
Yeah.
it just ain't, you know.
It's absolutely
you know,
a competition.
It just ain't what it is, you know. You're
Right.
right. You're right.
That's something like, look, you don't gotta agree, but for me, yeah, it's a competition. You gotta think it's not that many women comedians. So when they start going down the line, dag, I want to book a female comic. Dag, I want to book a female comic that's funny. Like it's not a lot of us to choose from. Period. Just it being black female comedians. There are not a lot of black female comedians in the St. Louis area to choose from.
Yeah,
And so
it's not.
who is my competition? I'm not competing with Precious. Precious is me and Precious are not in competition. That's, you know what I'm saying, big dog to the little dog. I'm going to Precious asking her for help. Me and Precious not in competition for no booking. In my eyes, we're not. Just because of the level that it is that we're on and what we do. So I'm looking at her like, you know what I'm saying, that's big sis, that's the big homie. Can you help me get better at this? So that I can at least be running alongside you, even if I ain't running ahead of you, because you further in the game than me. You know what I
Yep.
mean? But it's like it's gonna be the same set of black women comedians on flyers because it's not that many of us. It's not like when you go to black women comics, who you gonna pick? Me, Shantae Love,
Shantae,
Taji, Purdy
Purdy.
B, Precious, Straya, and Fee.
Free, and
Sequoia.
Sequoia. I can't even think of 10. I really can't.
I'm at 8 right now.
I can't even think of 10.
Right.
And I
so,
can only
Lady Reed, but Lady Reed,
she not
with
she's
us.
not anymore. You
Yeah,
know?
that's what I'm
she don't pop
saying.
out like she used to.
so that's why I'm like really.
Yeah.
So you gonna see the same faces, and it ain't
Yeah.
because, oh, well they like this person better or this person better. Like they trying to get it in the rotation on, so we can work. It ain't that many of us, and your interpersonal relationships a lot of times impact your bookings. Most of the time, impact your bookings. Who you know. You want to talk about the Pop the Balloon comedy show?
Oh yeah.
A lot of that.
How did that come about? The Pop the Balloon show,
Uh,
comedy show.
well, that was a Flying Funny production by comedian Willie C.
So I should really see.
So Willie, uh, but he had previously been on Pop the Balloon
Yeah, he
STL, produced by Terry Bams now.
He had one of the funniest scenes on there, actually.
Yeah. I worked for Will previously, and we do have a close interpersonal relationship outside of work. He asked me if I wanted to do the show, and yeah, I wanted to do the show because that was one of the things I was trying to check off my bucket list is to be on a Will C show, and I bombed because the very first time I got on stage doing comedy was on a Will C show, and I bombed, and I didn't even stay up there. I walked off stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember what I had on and everything. So that was a kind of bucket list moment for me.
Did he give you advice after that bombing?
Nah, because it was a show going on.
Oh, yeah.
And it was his show.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that show. It was me, Willie, King Cooper, and
King Cooper. That's what the name I was thinking of in my funniest. I was thinking that he is hilarious.
Yeah,
to me.
Cooper funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
And Marvin Davis, all us was on the show together.
Marvin Davis.
Right when this was like his first show when COVID was. When outside started opening back up.
Was that like 2020?
Yeah, like when outside first started opening back up. You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't do comedy again for a really long time.
You don't even do comedy at Blueberry Hill no more. I don't think so. I don't think so.
But that was, you know what I'm saying, one of the things on my bucket list. And so after we had done that show together, where I had done a guest spot like the month before. And then he asked me if I wanted to be on that show. And so that's just how it came about. He finally saw me working enough to where he figured that I could do the time and be funny enough, and I got up there and I did what I was supposed to do.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Who else was on that show?
It was myself, Straya, Sequoia DeLee, and Willie.
Willie?
Because it looked like Pop the Balloon because it was an all-female lineup with the exception of Willie.
Was it actually like balloon popping? It was just a comedy show?
It was just a thing. Yeah. And then he had... what is
I know he has some special guests on there.
What is
that? I know them ladies. Man, what's that podcast?
No, not How He Is and T. He didn't have them. He had.
Didn't he have one of them on there?
He had. I can't think of the name of that podcast. They record over at the York Place Diner. Two dudes, yeah.
I know. I forgot.
Yeah, that's something like it's I don't know the name of it.
I know what you're talking
about.
But
they were on the show as well. But as far as like just comedians or whatever.
And there was another special guest on the scene too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But that's all. I just got up there and did what I was supposed to do and got down.
Would you say that was your best performance?
No.
What would you say, if you could think of it, what would you say is your best performance that you've ever given at what particular show?
Goblin Town. But it was storytelling. Yeah. That would be right now. That's the one that's resonating with me and motivating me to expand on other parts of my art.
That's definitely good. You know what? Are they doing any more of that?
I believe they're doing one more, and then the show is going into retirement. They're doing one during Pride.
Yeah, because I remember here, I should have, because I do like, that's like improv, isn't it?
Well, you tell your story, and then they have an improv team do the playback.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. You don't do the improv. Like I read the story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I read the story and
so
then,
like something you actually wrote the story.
Yeah.
And they acted it out.
And they did the improv.
That's like charades.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that like when they do improv, like those workshops or whatever, that's a game.
Right,
yeah, that you know what I'm saying. Each scene is a part of a game. But yeah, right now, the Goblin Town story about the man who tried to sneak move in my house, and when I told him he couldn't took the pizza rolls and the white bread, that's gonna be that's right now the fact, and that really happened to me. Like the improv team was like, "Oh my God, you told that story so well, you would believe that it's true." I'm like, "Bitch, that did really happen to me." The fuck? Like, yeah, that really actually happened to me. Unfortunately, yeah. So right now, Goblin Town is sticking out in my mind. If it come out of retirement, I'll go back and do Goblin Town again.
Well, so when was this show?
Last Monday.
Oh damn!
On
You
the
just did it.
21st. Yeah.
You just did it.
Yeah, that's on like on the
You
21st.
just did it.
Yeah.
That's fresh.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I did a podcast last Monday. I did Some
Oh, you
Things
on?
Must Be
You
Heard
on?
on Cosplay
You on cosplay's
on their podcast, and then
yeah.
I left there and
Yep.
went to the
Have
improv
you ever
shop.
been on her show?
Lyrics and Laugh
Lyrics
interlude.
and Laughing. Yep. How'd
Yep.
that go?
It was good.
Yeah.
At the time, it was still at the ERG Gallery.
Yeah, they moved. They on Page now.
Yeah, at the old school Bar and Grill.
Yeah, yep.
They make some fire Shirley Temples in there. But yeah, I done been on Lyrics and Laugh interlude.
That's how I know. I mean, I never had one of them before.
But Shirley Temple,
Dope.
it's good.
Yeah. Speaking of unhealthy food, they got that. It's definitely
Yeah.
definitely that up there. Yeah, definitely that up there. Comedy movies. What is your all-time favorite comedy movie? Comedy actors, too. Comedy actor movie,
Comedy movie. House Party,
House Party.
the original.
The original.
Yeah.
Me, Harlem Nights is definitely out there. I love that movie. Harlem Nights. And anything with Will Ferrell in it. Like, to me, he's like my favorite. He's my favorite comedy actor ever. I love Will Ferrell movies. Anything with him in it, it's goated. And then that's the movie. Me and Irene. I know I'm
Me,
saying
Myself,
me,
and
myself,
Irene.
and Irene.
I love your daddy.
I love that one. Anything with Will Ferrell. What else? I'll say Click. I love that movie.
Oh, Click with Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. Yeah. So you said House Party? That's interesting.
Yeah, who I think Robin Harris in there.
Robin Harris.
Yeah.
Oh, why did I say that? I didn't say it, but of course, Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now, I don't find like it's just like I don't find a lot of comedy movies that funny for me. Like it's just I only named a few because a lot of them comedy movies don't be funny to me.
Yeah, and usually I just name one. I watch a lot of documentaries and stuff like that. I mean, I do have some stuff like Norbit is one of my comfort movies. Just more so because
I like Eddie Murphy. I like Eddie Murphy as a comedian, but me personally, like I don't really find his movies funny.
Right, and
That's just
it became funny to me when I realized that was just Eddie Murphy's voice and that wasn't him putting on a voice when he was dressed up like Rasputia. Because it's like if I watch Norbit and then I watch Life, like that's the exact same voice carrying over between the two films. It's just I'm looking at a different image.
He probably has the most distinctive. I would say this about Eddie. Him and Kevin Hart probably have the most distinctive voices. Like you know it's them. Like they could be playing a
Chris Rock too.
Yeah. Yeah, him too. Yeah. They could be playing like an animal or something. They could be doing animated. You know it's them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just don't find a lot of Now Chris Rock, I like his stand up, but I can't think of any movie that I've seen. Well, it's one movie that he had with Kerry Washington that I like. And what is the name of it? Damn, what is that movie? He had a wife that after I guess the relationship I got stagnant and like she wouldn't have sex with him anymore and she got bored. Well, then he met the character, played by Kerry Washington, and she had tempted him to cheat.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the movie, he was getting ready to have sex. And then his conscience kicked into play. And he said he couldn't do it. And he went back home. And him and his wife had an argument and they ended up fucking. That was a funny movie. Outside of that, I like his. He's actually underrated to me. Like Chris Rock, it's a lot of people give him a lot of flock, but Chris Rock is actually funny. That's like to me. I think Steve Harvey's stand up is funny, although he gets a lot of flock too. But his stand up is actually funny to me. But yeah,
I like Steve Harvey more when he acts opposed to his stand up personally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoyed when he had the Steve Harvey show. I enjoy when he hosts. I think he's a really great host.
Yeah, he is. I like Family Field. Now, he's
Yeah.
another one. Some of his facial expressions be killing me.
Yeah.
But somebody say something dumb and his facial expression just is hilarious. I actually like Steve stand up. And I used to like the Steve Harvey show till Cat Williams starts. Damn. Did he actually steal this? Damn. Speaking of Cat Williams, like, did you see the interview?
Which interview?
The interview he did with Shannon Sharp.
Mhm.
What was your thoughts on the interview?
Big Virgo gang. No other comments. Virgo gonna say how it is. Virgo feel. I mean, I really don't have much to say about.
I think it was funny, but also he low-key kind of said stuff that that if you know about the industry that I kind of already knew. So it's like I kind of watched it and I was like, yeah, but like you ain't lying, like, you ain't say nothing that's not true. It's just that I'm a conspiracist, so like I'm a conspiracist. I believe a whole lot of shit. He just think what I'm thinking, that's what I fucking.
Yeah, he just did. He did what
Yeah.
a Virgo do. You gave him a microphone. They must have told him he could say what he wanted to say, and so that's what he did.
Shannon Sharp sure made him a lot of money. I can tell you that. Speaking of Shannon, like, what's up with Shannon Sharp, man? What's
He
up?
got
with,
more money than me. I ain't got nothing to say. Shannon Sharp should have did what
he
Monique
about to
told
lose
him.
it. He about to.
shoulda-
If
he
he don't
shoulda
get it
did.
together, he about to lose that
He
money.
should have did what Monique told him, and he went out there playing in that snow, and he gonna get what he gonna get, frostbite. I mean, it's
Shannon Sharp about to
unfortunate.
lose that money. He
It's
got
just
a lot of
like-
money. He about to lose it.
It's
goddammit.
unfortunate, but I mean,
Yeah,
everybody-
like he about to,
life
he
is a
about to get
journey.
fired from ESPN. Like,
look, life is a journey. The decisions that we make,
that is true.
absolutely outside of what we do,
Now that's the thing
impact
as a
what we
comedian.
do.
It's like when you make it, be careful. Be careful. All this name that's up, that's important. Be careful. Cause it's like when you rich and you got a name for yourself, it's kind of hard to determine who's really. It's gonna be hard to determine who's sincere. Who really actually loves you and likes you, or who's after the bag. So that's very important as well. Before I close, you got anything you want to add? You want to get about your social media? Anything else?
My Instagram is KAYBEEJOKES. That is also my Venmo and my Cash App tag if you want to send me a little change.
You want to send some change? You want to ramble? You want to show some love? You know what I'm saying?
Tips are accepted. We want
Tips
to
are
take
accepted,
my purse from flat to fat.
For real,
We're
for real,
thankful.
I don't want to be like the dude at the church. Hey, close all the
Close the door.
close the doors.
On Facebook, you can find me as KAY as the first name, BEE as the second name. My profile picture is a picture of me on stage. That's the best way to find out what it is that I have coming down the pipeline if you want to come out and support. I am the host of the Prelude open mic at KJ's on Broadway, 5300 North Broadway, St. Louis, Missouri, 63147. Held from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. You can walk up and sign up and get on the list by 6:15. We start on time. It's free
6:15.
It's free to get in before 7 o'clock if
Remember
you just
that.
want to
6:15.
enjoy the show.
Nice.
If you come to the Prelude, then you can attend the Grown Folks Comedy Show for free. Grown Folks Comedy is hosted every week by Frank Lyles, with your show starter Tenario Brown. Yeah, y'all hit me up. I'll be having all kind of stuff going on. You want me to come be on your podcast? You know what I'm saying? You want me to come read stories to the kids? whatever. I'm down. Promo. I put a wig on.
Yeah, she
Whatever. You
will.
just never know what kind of look you gonna get out of me. But I'm down to collaborate and be great. If y'all heard something that y'all want to expound upon or talk about or do something with in the future, just let me know.
All right, that's a lot. That's a lot. I want. That's the last. God damn shit. I really appreciate. Damn, fuck. I can't get my words out. Shit. See, that's exactly what we was talking about right there. Shit, we're talking for 2 hours. That's a lot. My brain. You see, I just gave you an example. Now you see what we talking about. Now you see, you got a perfect example. Take care of yourself. I had a 6-piece with cheese fries before her, and I had a soda, and I ain't did nan workout. I ain't did shit. Now you see.
You wonder why people was on my live wondering why I was drinking this
You
electrolyte
see. She
electrolyte
drinking
beverage.
electrolyte.
Cause my mouth was not finna get ready to be dry up here, and I
She
needed
drinking electrolyte, and I'm drinking my spit.
I needed to get some hydration in me because I didn't know how long we were gonna be talking for. So
Yep.
yeah.
Now that I get out the way, I want to thank you for your time, KB. I really appreciate you. All right, that's it. Petty Talk. I will be back next Monday. I'm out.
Yeah, you be in here trying to start a ride. Yeah, you gonna get me in one of no conversations. You